playing. Whatever.
They didn't catch the cue.
You're fired.
Come on, man. We said twice, 2 times 3.
That's right. Well, you know, these days, drummers, bass
Promoting
players.
themselves. Come on. Trying
Insta-fill.
more camera time.
That's right. All right, so welcome. Once again, we got Corey in the house. And if you haven't seen it, there is a part 1 to this video, and it's actually a rhythm video, which was awesome. This one is going to be part 2, and the jam track that you heard will be available down below, and you'll also get some videos that aren't on YouTube, one on rhythm and one on lead, the jam track. And wait, there's more. You'll get access to, Corey and I did an awesome course coming out, volume 1, but he did a killer how to get a great blues tune.
That's right. Yeah,
Brought
lots of
over
vids,
his stuff and his big pedal board.
lots of gear.
Do you ever show people that you're the real pedal board?
The big one? It's actually, it's being dismantled right now. It's like the Millennium Falcon.
As it
you know
should,
what I mean? Like
you.
when they're working on it, I got like R2 in there,
Yeah, right?
making cables for me.
shooting.
You know? Yeah, just making all kinds of.
It's like I don't know if it fit. I don't know if I have a lens wide enough to get it all in
It's
there.
why I have this back pain.
That's
So
right.
Picking it up, that's why it just stays in one
Yeah,
spot.
you're always at the acupuncturist because of your pedal board. So anyways, A, you know, because A is awesome. What are we doing? We got you were doing all sorts of.
We talk a lot about, man, we got to teach on some chromatics, and we got to teach about how to just dip your toe in the water of
Because they're
chromatics.
everything.
They really are, and they're only 1 fret away.
That's right.
Chromatic notes
From a
are
right
one fret
note.
away. That's right.
All right, so where do we start?
So one of the things that, you know, we've talked about this in videos before, we're going to take minor and major pentatonic, and we're in the key of A, so what we're going to do here is...
Are you a minor box thinker?
That's
Putting it
where I started,
Okay.
and I kind of just filled in the gaps from that point.
Would you suggest that's where people start?
Yes.
Minor adding major notes?
I would,
Okay.
yeah. And I would, what I really like to do is learn all 5 patterns of the minor, and then find its major, because that's the relative minor to a major key.
Yep.
So I like to be able to kind of see both of those happening.
Sure.
And that takes a lot of work. You know, it's my roadmap theory. So the theory is this. If you learned all the streets in the town you grew up in, right? And here we are in 2097, and the world has been completely gridded, right? We could go to another town. Yeah, it is, yeah. We could go to another town and find our way around if the streets were the same. So that's a key. The key is the new town, but the streets are still the same.
Right.
So find that roadmap and then be able to put it over all the keys. And it takes some time, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and just a side note, if you're in like A minor, pent box 1, a major pentatonic box 2 will be inside of it. So it's just one off, right?
Right.
And then so what I would do is exactly what he's saying, get the minor box and then learn the major.
Right. You nailed it.
You get lots of extra notes there too.
And you get all the really colorful ones too, because a lot of people will learn the minor and then they'll say, well, when you do this, that's minor, but when you do this, you add the 9 and the 13, which isn't wrong.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think of it that way because I wanted to see both as sound generators.
Sure.
Minor creates that sound, major.
Yeah. That's so cheerful and happy.
Yeah. And then
skipping around.
I'm playing the blues.
My blues went away.
But when we hear like your T-Bone Walkers or Kate Mouth Brown and B.B. King and all those people coming in and out of that with just a fret away. Now, I'm not sure.
Wait. Who's your favorite old school major player?
It's probably guys like T-Bone Walker.
Okay.
I like Clarence Kate Mouth Brown a lot too because he played a lot of the more jazzy stuff.
Yeah.
Swing, like, you know, he would play Take the A Train and songs like that in his set.
Okay,
you know?
so what about, so not to get too far away from that, give an album from each.
There's one of my favorite records is called Gate Swings.
Okay.
That's Kate Mouth Brown. And with T-Bone Walker, I mean, with those old blues guys, there was like tons of compilations that are out there. So anyone you could point your finger at, you can't go
Nothing
wrong.
will give you the blues.
Exactly.
Okay, so
gotta go to
forward.
but they did a lot of
yeah.
So there's a lot of that
Chuck
stuff.
Berry-ish kind
exactly,
of stuff.
And that's kind of it's all on the same plate. And I would consider Chuck very much in part of that too. He just did it with a different groove.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
In a briefcase full of cash.
Yeah.
No messing around with that cat.
So Chuck Berry would go to the towns he'd play in, and they would say, Mr. Barry, do you have any charts, or do you want to have a rehearsal? And he'd go, who don't know my songs?
Oh, good
I mean,
for him.
He's got a point.
You know what's funny is a guy I knew that managed him or whatever. What was it, him or his friend managed him or whatever. But he said wherever he went to town, he made them give him a briefcase.
Yep.
A leather briefcase with the cash
Oh,
in
that's
it.
awesome.
And he said at his house, there's like a barn with like 400 briefcases in it. But it was just like he just made him do that. But I heard he doesn't let them, like he doesn't necessarily tune the band.
No, I would hear stories of him getting up and a song and a guitar would be a whole step down, and the band would be like, "Oh crap!" Yeah,
you're fired if you don't get it right.
I mean, you better hear that on the first eighth note and move on.
All right, so
I'll jump into
it.
So well, just take it from the top down. So that's your minor, major. Let me do that with a little better fingering.
Okay.
So now, what you can do is play them both.
Yeah.
See how they're all there?
Yeah. Yeah, the blues note, you gotta...
Now, if you do want to play...
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So something like that, where it started from the E flat, because that's our flat 5 in the blues note, D, C sharp, C. But what I would do is it's always coming down, going back, but you got to know your target notes. So that's the cool thing. So when you're playing a riff like this,
can I play a little rhythm?
Yeah,
right?
1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the next one. Something like that. Target the root note. E. Right, so in addition to that, we talked about this in the rhythm video because we played some rhythm riff type stuff. I said, don't be afraid to target root notes, especially at the early stage of your game, because you got to have landing spots.
Yeah.
You know, so root notes are the best thing. So if you're going, here's your A.
Yeah.
Then when you go to the 4 chord, or anything like that to get to that D.
Okay.
Then when you go to the E chord, because there's your E.
Yeah.
You can find a D there.
Now I'm gonna say something very obvious but you know what's funny is I like just recently have been doing this, but I get so because I love that lick that. And it was in such a rut, and you've seen me do this, but like such in a rut of having my own habitual patterns that you forget that this is on the lower strings and all over the place too. And to make sure that you're thinking about the octaves and where that same lick is in the other positions, because it opens up, due to the shape and where it is and what string, even though it's the same notes, it sounds like it's a different lick.
The cool thing about this instrument is that when you play these licks, you know, play those all over the place in different octaves, and the tonality and the timbre of the strings makes it have a different feel, a different vibe. And that's where you get the most sort of money at. I mean, look, I've transcribed a bunch of different guitar players, and the best ones have like 4 or 5 really signature things. And they exhaust them.
They do too.
In a great way. You know, that makes us want to know what it is.
Just different ways of getting there.
Exactly. And that's sort of, set that as your bar. Say, I want to get 2 or 3 really cool things that sound great.
I got salt, pepper, turmeric, 2 other flavors, and that's it.
That's right. Yeah.
You're
making a curry over there. Nice and spicy.
Okay, so do you also ever just fill in the gaps like that kind of thing? Or
So
like what's your...
So we could fill in the gaps with just a regular blues, like anything like that will sound great.
That slow. That's not slow, dude. Come on.
I'm gonna make sure I remember it, dude.
Chugging it down.
We could end it like
Or
that.
You can do that. Trillion, baby.
So if we went, okay, so let me do it. Okay, so that's a decent lick. That's pretty cool. And we're starting from that G there, so think major and minor pentatonic. And you see I slid with my pinky. Sometimes I'll do that just for continuity's sake. Okay, so from there we have G, F sharp, E flat, which is our flat 5 note, D, C, A, E, G, A. Then that little hammer on from the C to the C to C sharp. Easy for me to say. So that has the toughness of the blues.
Yep.
But back to the major third, because that's the note in our chord. You know, so kind of find, that's a great little thing because it kind of denotes the chord change. It absolutely does, actually. So if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
That little money area right there is really, really important.
You get slippery right there.
You could,
It's
man.
nice. You know, also what I found was cool when you're doing chromatic runs is if you're going this way, like you're going this way, but instead of going just straight back like that, you're actually kind of ascending this way,
but going down physically. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and that makes for like really ear twisty kind of stuff because you're giving the illusion. You know, that's really, really great stuff
now,
for sure.
What about in the major?
Well, what I wanted to talk about was like if you want to get really adventurous.
Okay.
So you got this. Could you play that note?
Let's find out.
Yeah. Now I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
You know, so it sounds weird right off the bat on the A.
Yeah.
But when, you know, we can get into later in some other videos the magic of going to the 4 chord.
Yeah.
Where we're maybe going.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do it. All right.
So then I'm just kind of playing you know, chromatic stuff around the turnaround that's happening.
Sounds like horn phrasing.
Yeah. So we're kind of straightening it out. There's so much stuff happening going in that 4th bar of the blues. A lot of people like to play diminished stuff. I like to play some minor 7 flat 5. It's sort of more out there, jazzier kind of stuff that, you know, sounds wrong if you don't do it, you know, sounds wrong if you don't do it right. You know? No, but I mean, which most of the time I make it sound wrong.
It's tough.
But that's a cool way to get started.
Yeah. So learn the minor box, all the positions, the major box, all the positions, how they work together, and then the extra notes you can just fill in the blanks.
For now. You know, because they're going by at certain times so quickly that you're not going to hear it. We can name all these notes and they all have a purpose. Whether or not they're going to really work for us, you know, is for our ear to decide. So we have like the C, part of the minor, B, part of the major, B flat, it's a flat 9. Part of a diminished scale, which we'll get into at some other point. A, G, F sharp, F, so that's like our sharp 5 kind of a thing. E, E flat, D, C sharp, C.
It's funny that by keeping that pocket is not easy, even though you're just going straight in a row, you know?
That's for sure. Trip. Yeah, but it's fun. It's ear twisting type of stuff. You got to be judicious when you do it. But the real thrust of this lesson was to say, let's start getting some of the obvious chromatic stuff happening, which is chord tone related inside of the scales that we already know.
In just one position.
That's it. Yeah.
There's 5 more.
So you know they're everywhere.
Or 10 more.
Exactly.
They're everywhere.
Why are we whispering?
All right, so make sure you click the link down below. You will get access to the tone course that is part of the big, huge course that we did. So check that out as well. It goes over 5 different styles.
That's right.
Both rhythm and lead, which is awesome. And then there have other sections in there when I really sit them down and ask them a bunch of questions.
And then a tone video too.
And tone, well, I mean,
gear, all kinds of stuff.
I mean, who needs tone?
Deep dive.
But also click that link and you'll get some access to videos that are not on YouTube as well. You guys are awesome. Corey, thank you so much. Make sure to check out his links. I'll put them down below as well. He's got an awesome YouTube channel that he's posting more frequently too. I mean, I don't know when you have time to do it, but
carving out time.
Good for you. All right, and subscribe, click the bell, to be notified when other videos come out. You guys are awesome. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.